Hit it. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You are listening to Bras, Panties and Sports. The Super Bowl is done, and the NBA All-Star game is over. March Madness approaches. Whoop, whoop. I'm Spitface. Let's welcome our host, the First Lady of Sports Talk, Cheryl Smith.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Yeah, we are entering into the college basketball season, March Madness. Can't wait. That's the only time I watch college basketball is March Madness.
But, I check it a little bit of it during the season because sometimes, they be having some little interesting games, but not a lot of it. And First Lady, now, my bracketology is, terrible. I can't sort out a bracket. I don't know who's good at it, but I sure ain't good at it. But we know it's going to be some bracketology going on. And one thing, the First Lady is better than Stephen A. and a whole lot cuter. Now, whole lot cuter. Now, we're going to check out the music this week on Shout Out. We have featured performances from Byron LOVE Luv. Will he find his shining star? The brother Love. Will he find his shining star, get the cold fill of the mute button? First Lady, we're ready. What you saying?
Each week we try to figure out what is going on in the sports world. Not the plays of the week, more like the players of the week. Are they trying to tell us something? So we ask, what you saying? Fly, little birdie, fly. Time keeps on slipping into the future. Time keeps on slipping into the future. So I want to fly like an eagle to the sea. Fly like an eagle, let the spirit carry me. I want to fly right into the future. The little birdie known as Troy Aikman is quietly chirping. He wants to fly far, far away from Fox Sports into the nest of Monday Night Football. Would Troy be a steal for ESPN and a huge loss for Fox Sports? Would covering less Cowboy games be a good thing for his career? What about the current crew? Should they clean up their resumes? Marvelous Marvin Hagler, rest in peace. Bernard Hopkins and Roy Jones Jr. and the Steve Miller Band are asking what you say. I guess I was choking up on that one. Do they need to clean up their resumes? Well, let's just get into this. I mean, to be honest with you, I don't know if I was surprised that they were negotiating with Troy Aikman. I mean, there was a lot of rumblings that for some reason he was no longer happy at Fox News, Fox channel and covering their football. I'm not sure why, but to be honest with you, he is a big time analyst, but it's a big loss for Fox Sports. It is definitely a big loss for Fox Sports, but a steal for ESPN. I don't know if to me, paying somebody 5 years, $90 million. That's $18 million a year. I don't call that a steal by any imagination. I call that a ransom, to be honest with you. I wonder what Stephen A. Smith is saying, because he was the highest paid personality on ESPN, and not anymore. Troy eclipsed that figure by $10 million. And you know what? I thought the Monday Night Football trio of Steve Levy, Brian Greasy, and Louis Riddick did a great job this year. They've always had some issues with that Monday Night Football crew. They always been changing up to get the right combination, and it looked like finally they had the right combination. And in fact, statistics shows that their Monday night broadcast had their best ratings since 2013. But I think what it really was, ESPN wanted a national star power on their broadcast because, let's face it, there's movement on who's going to be broadcasting the NFL games because Amazon is taking over Thursday night football. And matter of fact, there's been rumors that they're in negotiation with Al Michaels, who's retired from NBC. But so you want that star power, because I guess the ESPN want to make sure that they keep their Monday Night Football. But, Fox had Joe Buck and Troy Aikman. I don't know what's going to happen now with Fox number one team. Of course, CBS number one team was Jim Nantz and Tony Romo. And, of course, NBC had Al Michaels and Chris Collinsworth. Now it's going to be Mike Tirico and Chris Collinsworth. But, I'm quite sure, to be honest with Troy, will do an excellent job. I happen to like Troy Aikman as an analyst, to me, better than Tony Romo. Or Chris Collinsworth. They say Chris Collinsworth is the best analyst on TV with Tony Romo trying to come up on the come up. But, I don't like Tony Romo. He's always doing predicting. They call him, he's always predicting what the plays are going to be. Sometimes you get tired of it. The first year that he was in the booth, people like it. But now, you know what? That's old news. We get tired of him telling us what's going to happen. Let us just see what's going to happen. But I like Troy. I like Troy a lot. Now the question is, what is going to happen with that current crew? Should they clean up their resume? Now, ESPN Monday Night Football is going to be interesting to see if they will continue with the three-person model. Of course, you have to have a play-by-play announcer, and I think Steve Levy will keep that position as the play-by-play announcer. But then there's a question, will they go to two analysts? Troy only really works alone as an analyst. He only works alone. So even when they used to cover the Super Bowl, he only worked alone. So the question is, will ESPN keep that two analysts? And hopefully they do, because I like Louis Riddick. To me, Brian Greasy would be the man on the outs. He should be the odd man out, and they should keep Louis Riddick, because I think Louis Riddick has a lot of good things to say. And, so it's going to be quite interesting. Now, would covering obviously doing Monday Night Football, that means he will not have that many Cowboy games like he used to have before. But I don't think it's going to be with his career. I don't think it's a bad thing. I don't think it's a good thing. Matter of fact, to be honest with you, I always like what Aikman had to say about the Cowboys. He was very outspoken. He really never minced his words, and he's always given his opinion about the Cowboys. That's what an analyst is supposed to do. They're supposed to be very, unbiased and objective. And Troy always, if the Cowboys didn't do what they were supposed to do, Troy Aikman always spoke out about that. So, to be honest with you, he's still going to give his opinion regardless if he's covering the game or not. Because, everybody looked to see what quote Troy Aikman had to say about his former team. But, I think it's overall, it's a great move for ESPN because, like I said before, they really did not have a top-notch crew. When I mean top-notch, from a star power like the other networks did. It's been a long time because, Monday Night Football, when it was on ABC, I think it was on ESPN always, but they
before ESPN there was ABC.
It was on ABC. Let me rephrase that. It was on ABC. I remember with Howard Cosell and they had a lot of stars. Dandy Don. Yeah, they used to have a big time star power doing the Monday Night Football, and when ESPN took it over, it kind of went on the slide, even though what's his name? Chris Berman used to be great at it. It's going all the way. He was great. He was great at it. I don't know why
stumbling.
I don't know why they retired his butt. Now I see he's been back on ESPN. So I think they need star power. So Spitface, I think it's a great move for them. But they damn sure paying Aikman a lot of money to do it. You got, like I said, if you want the best, you got to pay for the price to get the best. All right, Spitface, how do you feel about this situation?
Well, I agree with you, First Lady. Troy is one. He's a star color commentator, and I do say that even though the price tag, ESPN is shelling out a bunch of money, it's still stealing star power from Fox Sports, and I think I would not be surprised if Fox Sports says, you know what, we got deep pockets too. We can spend some money. So they might say, look, we might not particularly, unless Troy is like just actually unhappy with Fox Sports. Because if it's a money thing, hey, you know what? But also I think that Troy may be saying, hey, look, you know what? I'm not a local commentator. I'm not a local person as far as the Dallas Cowboys. And I get so many Dallas Cowboy games that it can look that way. And I want to cover some other games. I like covering the Cowboys, but I want to cover some other games, because, he's in the biz. He's got, it's not that his career is set. He don't have to do nothing. He can stay where he at. He's making a bunch of cash. But I think he wants to say, hey, you know what? I want to be able to talk about some other teams, and this having to do 8 Cowboy games a year, is all right. But I really would like to be able to cover other games. So I think it's kind of, his thing might be more so not the money, but money count. But just being able to cover other teams and not have so many Cowboy games. I think the big deal is the Cowboy fans are losing their number one guy. As far as color commentary, they're losing their number. So I can see a bunch of Cowboy fans missing Troy now. And Tony Romo, second tier, just like as a Dallas Cowboy quarterback. Yeah, you done beat out a lot of Troy's records, and and all of that. But Troy got them 3 Super Bowl rings, which you don't have. And Dak. I don't know what track you're going to be on. Will it be the Tony Romo track where you pad your stats, or the Troy Aikman path where you ring-a-ding-a-ling? But, but I really think that it's a big loss, big loss for Fox Sports. And there may be a little bit more behind the scenes. Now, First Lady, you might be right. Greasy may be the odd man out. And, unless you hear some rumblings that Joe Buck getting ready to cut. Because, actually, I like Joe Buck and Troy Aikman together. They've been a fun Buck stay in his lane and let Troy be the star of the show. And they've been, that's been a great combination. So there may be some other things in the works. But somebody going to be the odd commentator out on that Monday night crew, so they might as well dust off that resume and get ready for it. That's all I'm saying, First Lady.
Yeah, and if Troy goes to ESPN, who are they going to get to replace him? I mean, Sean Payton is out there now. He's actually, I've seen it a couple times on ESPN, but I don't think he's with the network right now. And, of course, Drew Brees is on NBC, so who knows what his contract is, whether or not he could be a full-time analyst. So it should be quite interesting. But, this is still hasn't been finalized. There's always rumors. But if you're hearing these rumors, I know it's going to come to fruition. So we'll see what happens, Sounds like Troy's going to ESPN. All right, Spitface, over to you.
Don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years, rocking my peers and putting suckers in fear, making the tears rain down like a monsoon. Listen to the bass go boom. Explosion, overpowering over the competition. I'm towering. Wrecking shop when I drop these lyrics that'll make you call the cops. Don't you dare stare. You better move. Don't ever compare me to the rest that'll all get sliced and diced. Competition paying the price. I'm going to knock you out. Huh. Mama said knock you out. Huh. We're talking about the knockout punch Juwan Howard almost landed on his coaching career. The First Lady, the worst wounds are often the ones that are self-inflicted. Juwan Antonio Howard, you know you screwed up when somebody uses your whole name, Michigan men's basketball coach, hit another coach at the end of a game. Juwan Howard gave Greg Gard 2 warnings in the handshake line that led to a brawl between Michigan and Wisconsin. Gard made the mistake of touching Juwan after he received the warning, and it was on like Donkey Kong. Juwan has been suspended 5 games, so some of the players on both sides will receive suspensions. Was the NCAA too lenient, or did the punishment fit the crime? Leroy Satchel Page, Walter Buck Leonard, and James Cool Papa Bell are asking, what you saying? First, I'm looking at, first off, coach. Let me start out with coach. That was not a good example for your team, for college basketball, yourself. It was just not. And I can get in the heat of the moment, and you know, there's a part of me that goes, boy, Juwan, you love your team. You got a lot of pride for your team. You know, I give you that, and because you took it too personal, but I do get that these are your boys, and you were proud of them, and you let your emotions get too caught up. And, you know, it's sort of like that parent at the Little League games who wants to, cuss out the manager for not playing their kid or for pulling their kid out the game at a certain time. You know, that's kind of, one of them kind of parents. And, but I get that. It just really, I get that he Michigan true and blue. Michigan, hey, you got a coach that care about the team, but was stupid. That was not that. Juwan allowed himself to get too caught up as a coach because he's the guy who's got to calm down the players. And unfortunately, his assistants couldn't grab him in time before, it went out of hand. Now, Gard, sometimes, I'm not blaming Gard. I'm not blaming Greg Gard. I am saying, dude, sometimes you got to get that, right now ain't the time. I know you it's just like it's like when you dating somebody and y'all done had a falling out. And they kind of say, leave me alone, and you keep trying to love. Well, look, let me explain. And they done told you, leave me alone. You need to step off, and then until things cool down. So Greg, was not too. He didn't catch it. Not blaming him, but dude. Hey man, look, this is Juwan tripping. So if the other person's tripping, you need to leave him alone. But I think that, I do think Juwan got off a 5-game suspension is a big deal. But I think that he got off, I don't think they were too lenient. And I think he better count his lucky stars because they could have went a little bit tough on him. But I don't think that they were too lenient. That's all I'm saying. First Lady.
Well,
what you say?
It's an unfortunate incident for Juwan Howard, and like you said, I mean, these are supposed to be the coaches. They're supposed to be leaders of men. You're supposed to show the example to your players, not go up on the line and start openly slapping somebody in the face. And which I didn't understand because to this day, I've been researching it. we don't know why he hit the assistant coach. That's what I wanted to know. Why did he hit the assistant coach? What did the assistant coach say to him? Because it was obviously Greg Gard. He was the one who grabbed Howard and, was trying to explain to him why he called a timeout. And you know what? We always know in basketball is an unwritten rule. When there's a blowout, you don't call a timeout with seconds left in a game, college or professional. Okay, you just don't do that. So, if they have a 10-minute runoff, who the hell cares? Or whatever the reason why he called a timeout, I didn't even understand that part. But anyway, Howard was wrong. He was clearly wrong, even though, yes, to me, Greg Gard initiated it, but Howard was totally wrong. And he is completely fortunate that he's very fortunate that he was able to only get a 5 game suspension for the rest of the season, because he's lucky he wasn't suspended for the entire postseason. Many of the pundits were calling for him to be suspended for the entire season, meaning the postseason. But right now, the University of Michigan is on the bubble anyway. They may not make it, depending on how they do in these last 5 games. But it was quite interesting because, I thought Juwan Howard had a relationship with the athletic director, but really they didn't know each other, because, Juwan Howard, I think his job security around it, because a lot of people thought he should have been fired. And his job security, to me, was a result of him being part of the Michigan, Fab Five team. And to be honest with you, when he was hired, the athletic director, Manuel, he actually interviewed former teammates, Jimmy King, Terry Mills, to get their input on the next coach. And they all felt that, Juwan Howard represented Michigan because obviously he played for the Fab Five, and, that was his heart, because he could have gone to other places, but his heart was in Michigan. So I think with all of that, that saved him from not being fired from the job. But it's something that, a lot of the pundits were talking about, should they get rid of the handshake line? No, they shouldn't get rid of the handshake line, because, again, high school basketball, college basketball, it's about sportsmanship, and, having the handshake, nothing's wrong there. We know in the heat of the moment they just had a rough loss, or one team's going to have a win, another team's going to have a loss. So obviously the team that had the loss, they're not going to be up to the moment of shaking hands, but that's just the way you do it. Hell, they do it in hockey, and the players could be fighting each other, and they do the handshake line. So, there's nothing wrong with it. So, I think it's something that should be continued. But the other thing with the situation with Greg Gard and Juwan Howard, when they did their post-game interview, there was no contrition with Howard. Really, he never said anything that he was sorry. He just explained the reason why he did. He said, "You don't touch me." He's from Chicago, so you just don't touch a man from Chicago that way. So he lives in Miami now. So with Kendrick Perkins, always called him goons from Miami. So he lives in Miami now. But and even Greg Gard really did not explain, why the saying that he was sorry. So I think that had a lot to do with it. If you show some, if you apologize immediately for your behavior, that would lessen some of your punishment. But that did not happen. It's sad, and a couple of players were suspended. Terrence Williams II was suspended, and I hope I don't mess up his name, but his name is Musa Jabate. He was suspended for Musa Jabate. He was suspended. Terrence Williams II and Musa Jabate were suspended for Michigan, and Jacoby Neef was suspended for University of Wisconsin. Greg Gard was fined $10,000. And I believe Juwan Howard, in addition to his suspension, I think he was fined $40,000 too. So, so they hit you in the pockets. Now they gonna hit you in the pockets. So it's an unfortunate thing, but they'll get beyond that, and hopefully a situation like this will never happen again. I mean, this is new school now, because Bob Knight, man. Bob Knight was crazy back in the day. I'm quite sure he busted a couple of coaches in their head back in the day, because he used to do it to his players. But, a lot of people bring up Bob Knight. I say, look, this stuff is, we are in a different time now. We don't tolerate that type of violence with children or with other coaches. That is not permissible now the way it was. So
Woody Hayes.
Oh yeah, Woody Hayes. Yeah, let me tell you, there's been some hard-nosed coaches in football and basketball too. So I mean, you remember Bob Knight used to choke his players.
Oh yeah.
Remember he threw the chair. He's done a lot of things. So you can't equate what happened in those days to now, because it's not tolerated anymore. So, but anyway, they'll get by this. The question is, again, will Michigan be able to get into the tournament? So we'll see how that goes. But they did win their last game. And the other thing is, because Howard had never had coaching experience on that level, they did bring in a top-notch assistant, or I think I'm not sure what his title is, but he has a backup coach, and he's led a college team before. So it's going to be, that's great for Michigan that they're able to bring somebody in to take his place, because they had him there already on the bench. So I can't remember his name right now. But anyway, all right, Spitface, that's all I'm talking about. We have an exploit in the house from Chicago. Do you touch somebody from Chicago, Dizzy Mac?
Oh, no. You do not touch nobody from Chicago. There's consequences and ramifications and repercussions.
Of course.
and Juwan Howard is Southside. Oh, yeah. He ain't going for it.
You do not be touching the brothers from Chicago.
Nope.
Back in the day, you had to worry about an ice pick.
I don't think you touch any brother from any place to be anywhere. To be honest with you.
Probably, yeah, because they can be kind of rough, They can be kind of rough. But I think Mr. Greg Gardner, don't be touching them. But don't be touching them, and stay at arm's length. And stay at arm's length. All right, First Lady, please take us to break.
Stay tuned. Coming up next, we have a performance from Byron LOVE Luv on Shout Out Part 1.
Free Mr. Vaughn.
Welcome back. Yes, we have the bearskin rug guy in the house.
Yes,
the one and only Dizzy Mac. He done flew in. I should have known when I saw glitter on the floor that them semi-shake girls was somewhere.
Hey, you know how the semi-shake girls be. Semi and shaking.
They be semi and shaking. All right, Juwan Howard needed to have some semi-shake girls cool his ass out. But the music flows from around the globe to get a shout out from the panel. First Lady, I can't wait to hear the music from Byron LOVE Luv.
On Shout Out, we feature new independent artists who are looking to find their shining star. If we like what we hear, we'll give the track a shout out. If we don't like it, we hit the mute. Today we are featuring Byron LOVE Luv out of Dallas. I wonder isn't there a place called Love, Texas or somewhere in Dallas?
I got to check.
Where Southwest Airlines is Love something. But anyway, I digress. Let me
well,
go
they
on.
had Love Field, but
Love
you know.
Field. That's what I'm thinking of. Love Field. That's what I'm thinking of. Love Field.
I
anyway.
ain't too hip to a city called down in Texas.
No, the Love Field. That's what I was referring to. But anyway, they say, quote, "We sound like no one." Okay, I quote. Well, that's the way you're supposed to be. You should sound like yourself, but you shouldn't sound like no one. All right, let's hear Whole Lot of Booty. Okay. Byron LOVE Luv.
Every time we fuck, I like it hit from the back. Bounce that ass, watch it clap back. He like it when I wiggle and it jiggle and it tastes just like some Skittles. Where the ballers with the money, ain't no booty shaky till he throw them once. He call me Judy, heard his juice, he wanna squeeze. Let's make a move. He like them girls with them big old ghetto booties, with the piercing on they coochies, right cheek, left cheek, slow motion for me. Let's get it groovy, baby. I came to have some fun. Watch me throw this ass in a circle, make it rain. Whole lot of one. I'ma bust it wide open on my tiptoes, bend it over real slow. Watch me do this tongue roll, brown skin, pretty tongue. Got this ass sitting on the throne, bubble butt, bubble yum. You can come and get you some. Whole lot of booty on this kitty. That's a whole lot of booty. Got 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 a whole lot of booty.
I like to see you shake it, make it wiggle like a freak. I do that thing that you do with the left and right cheek. Make it speak, it can talk. When you walk, I'll make it clap. Let me hit it from the back and pull your hair and grab and slap. Get you off inside the shower, seen you sent me younger message. When it's wet, you can bet I'm all up in it trying to stretch. That's a blessing, everybody ain't just got it like that. They might have a little booty, is it fine, is it fat? I know some girls are wide and fat, I know some girls are small and thick. They say love is a house, I need a house that's made of brick. Don't apologize for thighs that be making the nature rise. If the booty good and fat, then we ain't tripping about the size. Some of these people go and buy it cause it wouldn't come up on his own. Denied, I love fat ass cause I'm grown. No scale can weigh or maintain all that ass that you got. You got a whole lot of booty, that's a lot. Got a whole lot of booty. 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 I do the booty walk, booty walk, booty walk, the booty walk, booty walk, booty walk, the booty walk, booty walk, booty walk, the booty walk, booty walk, booty walk. Now make that booty shake, booty shake, booty shake, booty shake, booty shake, booty shake, make that booty shake, booty shake, booty shake, booty shake, booty shake, booty shake.
Yeah, got a whole lot of booty. I got a whole lot of booty. Whole lot of booty.
Okay. All right, that's the whole lot of booty. Okay, well, I'm going to tell you something. That's a song, I don't know. Ooh, I'm on the fence about this song. Look, it's only fitting that Dizzy Mack is here with the Shimmy Shake Girl, because that is definitely a Shimmy Shake Girl type of song, because they got a whole lot of booty, and they shaking that booty, right, Dizzy Mack? So, you know what? It's a party song. It's a party song. I mean, I'm gonna shout it out because it's a party song. They did have a nice little rap to it, but trust me, It's something that I won't listen to again, but I'll shout it out. All right, Dizzy Mac, what are you thinking? You shouting it out or hitting the mute button?
Oh, we shouting it out. We still got the making it rain in here, right? You know, Ronnie B over there throwing 5s and 20s, and Spit Face over there getting lap dances. Yeah, we shouting it out.
All right, you shouting it out. All right, Spit Face, are you shouting it out, or are you going to hit the mute button?
I'm going to shout it out because, like you said, it's a party track, and they sounded like they was having a little fun doing it. So I'm going to go ahead and not quite my style, but I'm still going to sound it out because it sounds like they put it together. They put it together good.
Yeah. All right. Okay, well, on part 2 of Shout Out, can't wait to see what they're going to come up with next. We'll have another performance from Byron LOVE Luv. Is that the sound of my favorite underwater friend? Is it time for Flip It?
They call him Flipper, faster than lightning. No one you see is smarter than he. And we know Flipper lives in a world full of wonder, lying there under the sea.
All right. It's time for Flip It. What you say? What you saying, Flipper? Flipper say you can keep the booty, send the tuna. So I guess we had to. Flipper say send the tuna. Flipper say send the tuna.
Don't hate, Flipper. Don't hate. You know.
Okay. All right, it's time for Flip It, where our hosts defend the point and then flip the script and defend the opposing view. Kyler Murray scrubbed his social media of the Arizona Cardinals because management felt he lacked leadership and maturity. Is this a potential Deshaun Watson situation? Panel defend. Kyler and the Cardinals have patched things up. He might be young, but he ain't stupid. Or someone with women issues, about 99 women issues. So, apparently, Kyle and the Cardinals are working it out, and, there's going to be a little money added and that kind of stuff. But you know what? There's an old saying, where there's smoke, there's fire. And something is going on with Kyler Murray that would have management consider that, his leadership and maturity. And I'm not going to say that he's doing he's done things that Deshaun Watson has done, because that's a whole nother world. But he's kind of betraying a attitude that could lean that way. So I think Kyler said, you know what? Maybe I better do some quick growing up, because like I said, he ain't stupid. Like, you know what? I ain't won no big games. I ain't got no rings, stuff like that. So don't let me start pouting, with an organization that's paying me. And they willing to sprinkle a little more cash on the line. Maybe I need to be a good soldier and go with the program. So I think that the Cardinals nipped things in the bud before they got out of hand. And Kyler, woke up and said, you know what, this is the NFL. This is a grown man's game, not physically, mentally. This is a grown man's game mentally. And don't let me start clowning. I'm not a diva wide receiver. I'm a quarterback. Diva wide receivers, that's a whole different world. But Kyler and the Cardinals, I think Kyler was going through some growing pains, a little frustrated how the season went, and, just kind of acted a little immature there. But, again, the Cardinals Kyler, sprinkle a little money, they good. They good. He ain't going nowhere, and the Cardinals ain't letting him go. So it's kissy, hug, hug, and he better win some games next season. Dizzy Mac, what you saying?
What I'm saying is Kyler Murray got 99 problems, but a masseuse is not one. But he do got 99 problems. Yeah, he got 99 problems. Definitely. But Ken, you do see the immaturity because, again, they had that number one seed in the NFC and barely hung on to get a seed in the playoffs. So making sure that he understands that, hey, these players look up to him. Yeah, he tried to do an Aaron Rodgers. Only thing that he's got that Aaron Rodgers doesn't have is a Heisman Trophy. But Aaron Rodgers got a ring. Aaron Rodgers has the total respect to his team, and he's done enough to demand changes, whether it's in the roster or changes in his location. He can drive that bus. Kyler Murray, you cannot. You just over there pouting, sulking like a little kid. The immaturity, I seen him. I seen him spit face. He was over there pouting like a little girl. I'll just leave it at that. And, he's going to have to realize and understand that, hey, money isn't going to make him more mature. That's just more money to spend. And he already comes from money. Father was a Major League Baseball pitcher, so he comes from money. He's had the best. So what he needs to do is grow up, put on his big boy pants, and lead the team to a playoff victory. Not just to the playoffs, but a playoff victory and some wins. Yeah. Stop out.
All right, First Lady, defend.
Well, these reports surface about Murray and his immaturity. He's always finger pointing the blame. I mean, now I've seen some of his press conference, and he really has never taken his own self ownership of the problems. He has said some other things. So but you know what? He's a cocky young football player, and he's very young. And the Cardinals, they need to understand that. And to me, him scrubbing his social media, these millennials, they do that all the time. If they get upset with you, they're going to unfollow you in a split second. That's what they do. That's what everybody does. For who's these young millennials? I don't do it. Whoever's on my Facebook social media page, they're going to be there forever because I don't really give a damn, to be honest with you. So I really think this whole thing to me is much ado about nothing. He was very upset that they lost the playoff game. He felt that he was being blamed for the loss, and I just think it is really a much ado about nothing. The organization, to me, what they really need to look into is who leaked the story from within the organization, because it is quite obviously that they were talking about this situation and it got out to the press. To me, that is the bigger picture that they need to investigate. And Kyler and them, they got on the same page. They're showing to the media that things are they're all on the same page, and they need to do that. Yeah, Kyler probably decided that he needs to do what's best, and that means he needs to show some ownership over this situation. And obviously, they must have had a meeting to be on the same page. And we'll see, because to me, it's much to do about nothing. That's what I'm saying, Spitface.
All right. But we know that there's much ado about nothing. These millennial youngsters, they do this kind of stuff all the time. Well, let's flip it. Defend, scrub the team from your social media. Nothing to see here, right? They do this all the time. The Cardinals need a backup plan. He has already shown you who he really is, and that might not be good. I look at Kyler, and I'm, as far as a person, good guy, player, cocky, determined, want to win, all of that. But when just something is there that makes me, because see, the thing is, when you winning, like they said, winning solves all issues. We winning, yay. But you need a leader when you hit that wall and you might not be winning. And you need a leader, you need someone who says, the buck stops with me. Now, I'll say on an NFL team, the coach goes, the buck stops with me. The quarterback, who's the franchise, says the buck stops with me. You don't point blame at others or throw the management under the bus or this and that. You own it. You go, hey, look, you know what? I got to play better. I got to get my the balls to the receivers quicker. So the top quarterbacks always look at what they can do to move the game up, not what's happening around them. Now they may privately go, man, if they don't replace that offensive tackle, I'm just gonna get the ball and run around. They might be saying that to themselves privately, but in the press and the presentation of it, hey, I'm the man, I'm the lead. They paying me the big bucks, and if you already seeing this kind of stuff happen, it kind of reminds me of I think a certain quarterback years ago who came out of Texas and kind of had a tripped out attitude. I'm the man, I'm all of that, and now he ain't in the NFL, and Jeff Fisher ain't in the NFL either. So, you kind of, I'm going to Arizona. I don't know where this man's head is at. Maybe it's mellowed out, but you need a backup plan. And that backup plan may be bring in a quarterback who can give him some competition. Now, he should beat him out. He the man. But you may need to bring in somebody who displays that kind of leadership so that he can go, well, wait just a minute, I'm the man, but, this is the NFL. One day you the man, the next day you on another team. Dizzy Mack, defend.
Well, you're right. I agree with you. But I wouldn't just bring in any quarterback. I'd bring in somebody like Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, well, hell.
Jimmy Garoppolo. Some serious competition. Somebody that, hey, if you out there throwing interceptions, missing receivers, hey, we could put him in and, maybe ride him for 10, 11, 12 weeks. That could be the whole season. Depending on where you are. Again, I think when they say bring in competition, don't bring in somebody that can maybe play and start 2 or 3 games. No, we need somebody that you need to look at and say, hey, if I lose this competition, I may not get back on the field. Scrub the team and everything from your social media accounts. That's fine. That's okay. Because again, you may not want the distractions. You may not want to say something that could be taken the wrong way. Maybe you kind of learning that. But in the meanwhile, plan B may need to be bringing in some, he was hurt by injury, bringing in some receivers and some skilled players, some offensive linemen that can come in and start and make the competition that much better. And, hey, I'm not above having 2 good quarterbacks. Hey, somebody could get hurt. You just one play away. But Kyler, you may need to sit back and learn and understand that, hey, you know, when you get benched, it's not going to be for just a quarter, a half, a game. It could be for 13, 14 weeks. Run the table. Just go with the hot hand, you know, and then see how you like it. See how fast you put them teams back on your social media account. Yeah. Well, so, hey, Kyler, there's nothing the matter with tough love. We giving you tough love because we want to see you make it. We want to see you do the thing. But being just as talented a quarterback physically, you got to be one mentally, and you got to show it, and you got to own it. You can't just, you know, be hanging out looking at the shimmy shake girls do their thing, trying to make it rain for them, shutting down the club out there in Phoenix. I've been out to Phoenix. I know what's happening. I know what's happening. Out there they call them scorpions. They sting you and they get you. So hopefully you're keeping it wrapped up, keeping your body in shape, and, you know, you understand that, hey, NFL stands for not for long.
All right. Okay. First Lady, defend.
Well, like you said, Spitface, where there's smoke, there's fire. So now whether you believe the reports about Kyler being immature, finger-pointing, not really being a leader, you know, these are questionable reports that are coming out of the Cardinals organization. And it's kind of like the timing of like all of a sudden, why are these reports coming out at this time? Well, you know why? Because it's time for Kyler to actually it's time for the Cardinals to make decisions because they need to decide whether or not they're going to extend his fifth-year option, and then after that he's due for a massive extension. You know, these owners, you know, they do this to black players all the time. If you remember, the Eagles did it to Deshaun Jackson. When he was up for his contract, you heard all this negative noise about Deshaun Jackson. You know, I'm getting tired of these owners trying to discredit these black players. You don't hear this nonsense when it comes to white players when they're up for a contract and their things. You only hear about black players. So, first of all, I get upset with these owners because you don't hear that about white players. But anyway, so, yeah, they need to make their own backup plan because they're trying to lowball Kyler Murray. That's what they're doing, and that's why they're coming up with all this noise about his leadership skills and whatever. So if you want to have a backup plan, you know, you got to bring in another quarterback to come in to challenge him. You know, Jimmy G is out there. And also, what's his name is also out there. He's the ultimate backup quarterback. That's, you know who I'm talking about.
Fitzmagic?
Fitzmagic, that's right.
It made no team grab him.
Fitzmagic, well, he could come in and he could do well. You know, he got an arm on him. And look, the Cardinals got a lot of weapons, so, you know, Fitzpatrick can come in and give Kyler some type of, you know, I mean, he's not going to be better than Kyler, but you're talking about having a backup plan. But that's, to me, what the whole key is, the fact that they're considering lowballing this young guy on his contract. Because I'm telling you, go back in time, Spitface and Dizzy Matt, and look at it. It's happened before, and it's not. It always happened. When somebody's with a contract, up for a contract extension, they come out with the negative noise. So anyway, I just think, you know, we're not saying that Kyler is the angel regarding this whole situation. Yeah, he is probably immature, but it's the point that all this information has leaked out. And I still think there's some trouble in Cardinals land, and we'll see when that contract gets extended. If indeed they do extend the Kyler, because who knows, Cliff Kingsbury may not be the coach. You know, we have to see what's going on with that whole situation. But anyway, you know, Kyler does need to grow up, And the Cardinals, they've never had a situation now where they got a franchise quarterback and they got to pay him. It's been a long time since they had a franchise quarterback. I'm trying to remember who was their last franchise quarterback. I dare say it was who was their? I can't remember right now, but
it's been a while.
It's been a while, so they don't know how to act in this situation. All right, Spiffy, that's all I'm saying about this.
Well, please, First Lady, take us to break.
Stay tuned. Up next, the funnies and our favorite underwater friend on Flip It Part 2. Get your money, Kyler.
Take the money and run.
Welcome back. You are still listening to Bras, Panties and Sports. It's time for the funny Spitface. Over to you.
You know, First Lady, if it wasn't for the fact that these are verified, sometimes it's a little unbelievable. Thief caught after trying to rob the same bank 2 days in a row. Now, this is not the first time I've seen thieves, someone try to rob the same bank 2 days in a row. So that's what gets me. They say criminals always return to the scene of the crime, but a bumbling California bank robber didn't even wait a day before he came back to the branch he allegedly knocked over. Samuel Brown, 33, was busted after he tried to rob the same Fountain Valley Chase Bank 2 days in a row, according to police. The San Diego resident took off with a large amount of cash after he slipped a stick-up note to a teller at the New Hope Street Chase at 3 p.m. Monday, Fountain Valley police said in a news release. But the dough apparently wasn't enough for Brown, who came back to the bank the next morning and tried to rob it again. Police arrived at around 11:15 a.m. and arrested him without incident, according to the release. Brown had an outstanding arrest warrant and a rap sheet that included previous robbery convictions in San Diego. He is being held on a $170,000 bail in Orange County Jail and facing multiple robbery charges, the release said. You know, they say practice makes perfect, First Lady. Mm-hmm. Guys lying and water splashing everywhere. It must be time for our favorite underwater friend. It's time for Flip It.
Will the Warriors be able to squeak past the Suns to be number one in the West? Panel defend. With Chris Paul out for several weeks, they will squeak past the Suns. Spitface defends.
You know, the Warriors. The Warriors have come back. I almost want to say like a phoenix rises from the ashes, but they were never that bad. They hadn't gone down the ashes. It's just that they weren't winning championships. But when you look at it, the Splash is back. For the Splash Brothers, Drake. If the Suns had not started out the season with such a heavy lead, as far as winning games, it would be neck and neck, and it's still pretty darn close. But right now, the Warriors are in the right position where it's going to be tough, but they can squeak right on past the Suns and get that number one spot. Things are coming together for them just perfectly. And so it could come down to a couple of games at the end of the season, regular season. Watch out. The Warriors will squeak on past. That's what I'm saying, First Lady.
All right. They're going to squeak on past. Dizzy Mac, defend.
It looks like the bearskin guy had to boogie up.
Had the boogie up, okay, with his shimmy shaker. All right, well, poor Chris Paul. He's always getting injured at the wrong time of the year. It's always at the money time. Remember, he was injured when he went against the Warriors in Game 7 when he was with the Houston Rockets. If he had played, I believe the Rockets could have easily beaten the Warriors in that Game 7. Here we go again. The Warriors are 6 games back, but with Paul's injury, there's definitely going to be some slippage. As a matter of fact, the Suns have already lost the first game since Chris Paul's injury. So the Warriors, they're expecting to get Draymond Green back, James Wiseman back. So where one team is losing a great player, the other team, the Warriors, they're gaining the great player, Draymond Green, because everybody believes Draymond Green is the heart and soul of the Golden State Warriors. And when he was out, they lost. That's how they slipped down to being 6 games behind the Suns, because they needed Draymond in there. He's their playmaker. He makes them tick. And so, but, right now, the Suns, who knows what's going to happen with them, because we all know that Chris Paul is the reason that the Suns are where they are. So somebody else is going to have to step up. Their point guard, Cameron Payne, is going to have to step up. Devin Booker is going to have to step up. So, and they have some leadership on the team, but I don't know. The Warriors, man, the Dubs are on their way back to be reclaiming that number 1 spot. So they're going to eke on by the Suns. It's going to be close, but it's just they're going to pass them in that last week. All right, let's flip this script. The Suns have a commanding lead, and even without Chris Paul, his sidekick is carrying the load. Don't forget, Steph has an ache or two. Spit-face defend.
The one thing is that coming out of the All-Star break and you have a nice padded lead, you can lose some games. You can lose some games and keep that number 1 spot. And even though Chris Paul will be out, this is perfect because Chris Paul will be returning for the playoffs. He'll be back by then, probably maybe a week or 2 before that, so he can get the rust knocked off. So in some ways, it's like better to have that injury in the regular season where you can kind of, and you done played most of the season so that you can rebound and come back, than, it happened during the playoffs. And now the team is at a disadvantage. The other part is the team is will be learning how to win without Chris Paul. They'll be learning how to win, and they got the guns to do that. So this is a big moment for the Suns, and they're not going to blow it. Now, the Warriors, they're going to come on strong. They're getting a lot of folks back, but still, the Suns got that 6-game lead. They're going to win again. They're going to lose. They're going to win. But even if they play 500 while Chris Paul is out, that'll give them just enough where they keep that number 1 spot. So go Suns. That's all I'm saying, First Lady.
Okay. Well, there's only like 20-something games left in the season. That's why I never understood why they always talk about the second half of the season. Because when they get to the All-Star game, they've already played about 3/4 of their season. But there's only 20-something games left in the season. So it's, the Suns have a really commanding lead as of today. We talk about 6 games. It's going to be hard to overtake the Suns in 6 games. The Suns have capable backup. They got Cameron Payne. They got the Knicks throwaway, Alfred Payton, and of course Devin Booker. This is Devin Booker time to shine. He's going to show people that it's not all about CP3. This is his team also. He was here before CP3, even though we know they didn't get anywhere without CP3 because they couldn't even make the playoff. But Devin Booker now is going to show people that he can be that leader, and he's going to have to be that leader because without Chris Paul, they're going to need him to really take on the role of Chris Paul to be able to facilitate for others and on top of that, to score. So I don't see the Warriors being able to go ahead of the Suns. I mean, let's face it, the Warriors are going to be stronger too. And Steph went through a little period where he was, after he got the record in New York, he was struggling there for a while. Remember, the Warriors lost like 4 games in a row, which that was their opportunity to try to catch the Suns, but I just don't see them doing it. 6 games with 20-something games left. Man, the Suns really got to fall flat on their face in order for the Warriors to take over and to get the number 1 seed. All right, Spitface, please take us to break.
All right, on the other side of the break, we have another performance from Byron LOVE Luv on Shout Out Part 2. Please stay tuned, and it looks like we lost Dizzy Mac. Dizzy Mac, we hope you have a great day in Chi-Town. And remember, folks, don't be touching them Chicago folks. Don't be doing that.
You are listening to Bras, Panties, and Sports. It's time for Shout Out Part 2, the picks, and the finale. The music flows from around the globe to get a shout-out from the crew. Spitface, over to you.
All right, First Lady, we have another performance from Byron LOVE Luv. DJ, let's hear Positive Vibes. We need some positive vibes.
Everything is straight, everything is great, it's going my way. Put it in the air, cups up, what it's time to celebrate. Everything is straight, everything is great, it's going my way. Positive vibes, all that hate got away, look, it's time to celebrate. Everything is straight, everything is great, it's going my way. Put it in the air, cups up, what it's time to celebrate. Everything is straight, everything is great, it's going my way. Positive vibes, all that hate got away, look, it's time to celebrate. I beat the high score, now I'm up 1, having a great day. Yeah, everything, can't complain, it's alright, it's okay. Took all my worries and my troubles and I pushed them far away as they can be. I know they still over there, but I don't care, but now the focus on me. And that's the problem with us, y'all, we be looking so hard we can't see. The answer right in front of you and the solution that be right in front of me. And I fight hard, I get scarred in this war that the haters trying to wage. It takes a lot for me to try to be the bigger man and turn the other page. Some in this thing, they just playing, they ain't really the ones that's truly in it. The struggle real, then we the ones out here that's really dealing with it. Collateral damage, trying to manage this here stuff off in our own time. Destroying the planet, no wishes granted, can it be better meetings of the mind? Everything is straight, everything is great, it's going my way. Put it in the air, cups up, what it's time to celebrate. Everything is straight, everything is great, it's going my way. Positive vibes, all that hate got away, look, it's time to celebrate. Everything is straight, everything is great, it's going my way. Put it in the air, cups up, what it's time to celebrate. Everything is straight, everything is great, it's going my way. Positive vibes, all that hate got away, look, it's time to celebrate. Until the reason why we chase the high just to try and elevate. And then it all falls down cause the gravity is pulling on the weight. Enjoy while it lasts, but with crash, we just out here trying to smile. Cut the check and reparate, they say payday is coming after a while. Keep doing what you will have made my people say it's time to bless me. I'm just focused on the good as I should, trying to keep it stress-free. Riding around clean, I ain't worried about no haters or opponents. This sprinkling time's all mine, I'm just right now living off in the moment. Ladies looking great while the fellas posted up trying to get it. I'm just coming through, chunk of the deuce. What's up with it? Deposit is direct for my check and the balance okay. So what do you expect right now? Just a really good day. Everything is straight, everything is great, it's going my way. Put it in the air, cups up, what it's time to celebrate. Everything is straight, everything is great, it's going my way. Positive vibes, all that hate, gotta wait, look, it's time to celebrate. Everything is straight, everything is great, it's going my way. Put it in the air, cups up, what it's time to celebrate. Everything is straight, everything is great, it's going my way. Positive vibes, all that hate, gotta wait, look, it's time to celebrate.
All right, that was Positive Vibes. Is the track getting a shout-out or the mute button? First Lady, what's the verdict?
Oh, I'm going to shout that out. I mean, they kind of changed up their rapping style a little bit for this one. You know, I always like when there's a mixture of rap and the R&B together, so I like that. I'm definitely shouting that out.
All right, I'm giving it a shout-out. Hey, it was a positive vibe. It's the end of shout-out. If you like what you heard from Byron, Byron Love Luv, check him out on Old Grumpy Radio Network and BontonEntertainment.com. That's BONTON Entertainment.com. Now, if you'd like to be heard or have any comments, please send your emails and tracks to content@oldgrumpyradio.com. First Lady, over to you.
All right. It's like, who will win the crown? All right, can I get a drum roll? Drum roll. Okay. Well, I don't know if it's surprising. Well, it is surprising. It is very surprising because I believe, let me go into results. I believe this person's first time winning the NFL crown, but we'll see. All right, so the Super Bowl week, those results are in. I had a horrible Super Bowl week. I had minus 10 million points. Minus 10 million points. Dizzy Mac had 6 million points. And the winner of who will win and wear the NFL crown is Spitface. He had a whopping 37 million points. So the grand total is Spitface is won with 57.19 million points. Dizzy Mac came in second with 23.04 million points. And I was really bringing up the rear. I had last 4 weeks. I had been leading all season long and then mess up in the last 2 weeks. And I ended up with 2 million points. All right, yay, Spitface, you are wearing the NFL crown. Any speech?
I just want to say, in accepting this crown, that I couldn't have got them without all the fabulous people behind me. And now y'all won't get to wear it. ain't saying nothing.
This is your first time wearing the crown, correct?
I'm pretty sure, yep.
Yeah, I believe it is. Yes. All right, so now we're going to transition into basketball, the hardwood picks. We talk about playing basketball. All right, let's get to our winners and losers. Let's see. So for these first picks, it's $2 million for the win, minus $2 million for the loss. Jazz versus the Suns. We just talked about those Suns. All right, I'm going to go with the Suns. Dizzy Mac has the Jazz. Spitface, who do you have?
Jazz playing pretty good, but I'm gonna go with the Suns. I'm going with you. I'm going with the Suns.
Okay, you're gonna go with the Suns. All right. Celtics versus the Pacers. Dizzy Mac has the Celtics. Spitface, who do you have?
I'm gonna go with the Celtics.
All right, and I also have this. So the Celtics have been balling. I mean, Ima Udoka, I might be pronouncing his name. I apologize if I butcher his name up. But he finally has this team playing team basketball. You know, he learned from the best in Greg Popovich. All right. The Pistons versus the Hornets. Both teams are struggling. Spitface, who do you have?
I'm going to go with the Hornets. They're at home.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Hornets. Dizzy Mac took the Pistons, which is very surprising. But okay, Clippers versus the Rockets. I am going with the Clippers. The Clippers have been balling with all the injuries they had. They have been really balling. All right, Dizzy Mac has the Clippers. Spitface, who do you have?
The trifecta.
The Clippers. Okay, Mavericks versus the Warriors. This is a good game. I mean, it's a really, really good game. Dizzy Mac has the Mavericks. Spitface, who do you have?
I'm going to go with the Warriors.
Yeah, I'm going with the Warriors. They're home, but I'm going to go with the Warriors. Even the Mavericks have been playing really well. I'm going to go with the Warriors. All right. Nuggets versus the Trailblazers. All right. I'm going to take – this is a tough one. Because Trailblazers, believe it or not, they haven't been playing well, even though they got blown out the other day. I'm going to go with the Nuggets. Dizzy Mac has the Nuggets. Spitface, who do you have?
Home team, Trailblazers.
Oh, okay. You're going with the Trailblazers, huh? Okay, that's even though they almost one step from a G League team. All right, moving along. Pelicans versus the Lakers. And Spitface, who do you have?
Yeah, I almost want to go for the Pelicans, but it's street clothes this week.
Street clothes is in street clothes.
Lakers.
You going with the Lakers? I'm going with the Pelicans because the Pelicans have been playing really well. Dizzy Mac has the Pelicans also, too. All right, our producers fell in love with the over and under during the NFL season, so it's not surprisingly that they're appear here for the crown, for the basketball crown. We're going to go over a whole bunch of over and unders, and this is by next Sunday morning, and it's $2 million for the win and minus $2 million. All right. Miami Heat, over under 2 wins, and that starts today because the Heat played last night. I don't know who they playing on their schedule, but they've been balling, so I'm going to go with over. Hopefully they got 2 games that they are I guess they would have more than 2 games by next Sunday, so I'm going to say over. Dizzy Mac has over. Spitface, what do you have?
Under.
You have under. All right, Chicago Bulls, over under 2 wins. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I think the Bulls and the Heat play sometime this week. So, I'm not sure. I'm doing this blindly without looking at the schedules. I should have looked. I should have done my research, but I'm gonna go with over. Dizzy Mac has over. Spitface, over, under.
I'm going with the over.
Okay, you're going with the over. All right, the Raptors, over under 2 wins. Spitface.
Under.
Yes, they're under. I'm going to go with also under, and Dizzy Mac has under. All right, the Nets, over under 2 wins. Oh, okay. Who did they surprisingly the Nets beat Milwaukee last night. I think they, if I'm not mistaken, I have to look at these schedules. I don't have to pull up these schedules because I really don't know. I think they play Philly. Don't they play Philly? Or that's next week. But anyway, I'm going to say under. Dizzy Mac has under. Spitface, what are you going with?
Under.
Yeah. They surprised you with the win last night. All right, Suns, over under 2 wins. Well, I'm going to go, Dizzy Mac has Suns over. Spitface.
I'm going to go with the over.
Okay. And I'm going to go with the under. Because, no, did I say? Don't they play the Warriors this week? Didn't we just talk about them playing the Warriors? Oh, no, they play the Jazz. No, I'm going to go with the, let me switch. Let me change up from that. I'm going to go with the over. I'm going to go with the over. All right, Warriors over under 2 wins. Ooh, all right. I'm going to go with the over. Dizzy Mac has over. Spitface, what do you have?
I'm going with the over.
Okay. Piston, over under 1 win. Spitface, what do you have?
Under.
Under. I'm definitely going to go under. Dizzy Mac. Now, it's quite interesting. Dizzy Mac has under, but he chose them to beat. He chose them to beat the
Hornets?
The Hornets. So that's kind of interesting. He has them under. So I guess he covered it both ways. All right. So the Pacers over under 1 win. I think I'm going to go with the over. Dizzy Mac has under. What do you have, Spitface?
I'm going to go with the over.
You can go with the over. Yeah. You know, they're actually one of the teams to me that got better after the trade. They got better after their trade. Sabonis to the Trailblazers. No, to the Kings. Because they got the point guard of their future in Halliburton. I wish the Knicks had made that trade. All right, so you said you're going under or over? You said over for the Pacers, correct?
Correct.
Okay. All right, and the last one is the Spurs. I guess that's what that is. The Spurs, over under 1 win. I'm going to go over. Dizzy Mac has over. Spitface.
I'm going to go ahead and go with the over.
Yeah, it's funny. I'm looking at this. Spitface, did you look to see who they were playing? Because this is truly being blindsided for me right now. I don't know.
No, I had looked at who they playing, but I last night. But I'm going to go with the over.
Oh, okay. Well, the Rockets over and under 1 win. Well, that's a safe bet there. I'm going to go under. Dizzy Mac went with under as
it's a trifecta. I got to go under.
You're going to go under. They may surprise us. All right, so we got a special max bet of $4 billion by Sunday morning. You only get 1 optional bet, and the bets are Magic, better record than the Pistons, James Harden, over under 2 triple doubles, Nets, better record than the Raptors, yes or no? Oh, wow, that's a good one there. So what did Dizzy Mac says? Well, of course, Dizzy Mac, he answers all 3 of them. So I'm gonna. There's only one selection, so I need to get with Dizzy Mac for his pick. All right, Spitface, do you have a pick?
I'm gonna go big. I'm gonna go $4 million. That James Harden is under 2 triple doubles.
Okay, so $4 million. That's Spitface. You usually don't take these right off the bat. He's under 2 triple doubles. Didn't he just have a triple double? Maybe he. I don't remember. If
he had a couple. Or one.
Since he joined he only played one game.
Right, he had a triple. He had a triple double with him.
I'm going to say the Raptors. I'm going to say the Magic has a better record than the Pistons, and I'll go. I don't even know what to stand. I'm suing who's in last place? Is the Pistons in last place?
I think both of them been fighting for last.
Yeah, because I was considering the Nets. But I don't know the Nets and the Raptors. I have to. I'm gonna say I'm gonna take a safe bet. I'll do $4 million that the Magic will have a better record than the Pistons. That's the one I'm gonna go. Have a better record than the Pistons. Yes, they will have. Okay, so we will see how we do next week. Cause look, we fighting for another crown. All right. Spitface, what is your top story to watch this week?
The reaction of athletes around the world to Russia invading Ukraine, because many of the sports bodies are not playing. They're not playing with Russian play. They're like, nope, competition with Russia is off. So, and a lot of other players have just said, no, I ain't playing against this guy because from Russia. So I think that's going to be a big sports story this week, how athletes and how sports leagues deal with the invasion by Russia to Ukraine.
Okay. I mean, that would be more in hockey than anything. Hockey and probably... MM, the soccer league, the
boxing, the ultimate fight. They've all, said, hey, you know what? We may not sanction fights with Russian fighters. It's going to be.
But they've already, and not only that, they've already canceled a lot of these leagues have already canceled games against different major events in Russia that was coming about, and they've already canceled a lot of that. So this whole invasion is a big story. And I think you had said last week, but this week it's still continuing, the Aaron Rodgers saga, and that's what it is. It's an Aaron Rodgers saga. Like he told us over this cleanse that he did last week. Like, who cares what type of cleanse? I've never heard of that cleanse. You heard of that cleanse before? And I'm not even going to try to pronounce it, to be honest with you. I'm not even going
to. Aaron Rodgers remind me of this. These are the days of our lives.
I know. He is so full of himself. He is so full of himself. But guess what? He's going to have to make a decision this week. So I expect him to have the decision made, and it's probably going to be on McAfee's show, which is probably I think his show is either Tuesday or Wednesday. So we should know by the middle of the week, because that is going to be the big story of the day.
Major League Baseball could have been the top story also. Because, will it be a lockout? Well, they already locked out, Will they come together?
Yeah. I had mentioned a couple of times about Lucia Harris being the first woman to be drafted by the NBA. But I just wanted to tell people there's, if you have NBA TV, we usually don't promote other stations, but NBA TV, and actually it was Shaquille O'Neal was the executive producer. He did a fabulous job on a documentary on Lucia Harris, and they're running it on NBA TV. I mean, hurry up and watch it because, you know, they show this stuff on Black History Month, and we're winding down to the last days of Black History Month. And so I just wanted to tell people that, you know, we did talk about her a couple of times, and she had recently passed away. And I just want to say, you know, check out her story on NBA TV. All right, well, join us and our partners, the Veteran Women's Enterprise Center, as we honor our veteran women entrepreneurs. Please visit honorourveteranwomen.com. honorourveteranwomen.com. Check out our current and previous episodes at brawspantiesandsports.com. That's brawspantiesandsports.com. And our Facebook page, BPN Sports. All right, this is Cheryl Smith, the First Lady of Sports Talk, and Spitface. You have been listening to Bras, Panties, and Sports, and continue to celebrate Black History Month. And again, our hearts and our prayers go out to the people of Ukraine.